that like they're not putting themselves into a corner in terms of like if you go into a game 2 and the same picks are happening, same bans, you don't want to go like, okay, let's continue, haha, it's a great joke, you know, like the Juggernaut, it's a nice refreshing change. It allows them to pivot into new kind of sections, right? If they have the Lifestealer, for example, you'd expect, okay, they're going for explosive. This time, let's pick up a hero that can buy like a Crimson, that can buy maybe 4 stuffs, kite them out, and then we'll be able to play a game. So yeah, that's why you're seeing this Juggernaut. And now you've got the Grimstroke, another
such an early
pairing. Oh yeah, it's a very early quap actually.
It's if you're thinking about Mastermind, you're thinking about the Quap, the Storm, and the Invoker. Maybe the Tiny here and there, but like I remember, I think he was one of the OG spammers of Quap in pubs as well. Like he like even before Boom was really a thing, even before everyone like jumped on that bandwagon. He's a really good Quap player. We'll see if Mike and GG can answer that really well, because they do have that little someone that plays quite a lot of Quap, and he should know what to do against her, right?
But I look at this draft right now and I just see like the same concept coming through. You know, like you've got Cyberium. Okay, cool. They got their comfort combo of Pango and Phoenix, but who's the guy standing in front right now? Like, where's their tanky hero that can, you know, check the high ground, walk up and be confident? Your wave clear, sure, you have this Pango that might be able to do it, but his laning isn't always great. You saw in the first game, all the cores were on like 28 CS at minute 5. He was on like 17. So you can't expect him to have that strong impact in the lane. And you look at Viking, they've got so many stuns. They've got the initiation. Like they still like I didn't know if they'd still go for the Slardar, having the Juggernaut, because it's more like you have Slardar bomb. But with the damage amp, the Syndrome said about the armor changes, it is still fundamentally good. Like, they have good wave clear, good aggression, and I'm just scared for Cyberium. They need to pick up a tanky offlaner at least muscle up, because if they don't, then it could just be just like the first game.
You aren't considering this Pango to be their offlane once again? Like, you think they're gonna pick something different on the offlane?
I think if they put it offlane, I think they're just gonna have the exact same storyline as the first game. You know, he's gonna do a little bit in the lane, but fundamentally, like, they have no one who wants to walk in the fight first. Maybe they pick up a Pos 4 that can do that. They put the Phoenix on 5, but it still just doesn't sound too great.
Yeah, something that deals with the Slardar in the laning stage later on with the Jug would be alright. Not really where I was heading, but Morphling, they pick it up. Lil Pleb, he can play it really well, that's for sure, but dude, it again just fits the same story like in the first game. Like, you had that Spectre that was on the timer, you know, that the hero that really needs space to farm to get to online, and now you have the same exact thing with the Morphling. Yeah, you can maybe say that he comes online a little bit sooner, but it really fits the same strategy, the same role, and they're facing almost the exact same lineup, with the difference of Jug being there instead of Nyx, right?
Yeah. It's the same concept. It's like these two drafts are pretty much the same in timings, and we saw how Cyberium got picked apart, and like the damage as well early on. Where is their damage? Sure, you got the Quap ult, you got maybe an egg roll, but like it's still not explosive. It's not gonna like scare you on the back front. And if you can push your tower, like that technically, right? They're looking for a position 5 as their remaining hero, because if it's gonna be Pango Phoenix combo and then Quap mid and then Morph carry, they're looking for their position 5, right, to round out their draft. And I don't see a 5 pick that's gonna go, okay, nice. They can defend their towers, they can take team fights, they can walk up high ground. Like, there's not a hero in that 5 role that I'm seeing that can do that.
Their reliable stuns are also really lacking. Like, you have your... Okay, so that should pull... Alright, so they did play a little bit of Enigma. That's
go on,
something.
There's a clutch here, man.
There aren't too... Yeah, let's go. Wait. There aren't too many things to deal with the Black Hole BKB, right? Like, you should be able to have a pretty good Black Hole. You put Enigma on the offlane and then roll Pango as a position 4. On the safe lane, Morphling and Phoenix shouldn't be killable by Grimstroke and Slardar, right? So this lane still won't be that great for Morphling and Phoenix, but it's not the lane that should get crushed and ran over, because you have so much mobility between the Morphling and the Phoenix. There are yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say, does Boom play like Silencer mid, for example? I don't know if he's done it recently, but you just pick up that guy mid. It completely negates this potential black hole you have, all that early team fight, and they just get to roll over them. They can do Roshan with Slardar Juggernaut. They can go high ground with just Juggernaut spin. Like, it's so... I think it's kind of chill. If they just pick up... Yeah. Mid-silencer. That's my nice prediction.
It would be good, right? Versus the Black Hole. It gives you that damage versus the Morphling as well. It's decent laner versus... Well, but they go for the Storm instead, okay. So...
Sure. In terms of I'll let Lizard take this one.
No, it's just the Storm versus Morphling and Queen of Pain, your age-old pick, right? If you hit your timing a little bit earlier than the Quap and the Morphling, you're just going to carry the game alone. It gives you that reach as well. You have the combo with the Grimstroke too. It's just a good Storm Spirit game unless he gets completely dominated in the lane. But with the recent changes, with the side camps and everything, he should do just fine.
Yeah. In terms of playstyle, it's going to be the same type of game, like tiny rotated quite often. You're going to see that with the Storm, play around the runes. That early Orchid will pretty much kill every hero on Cyberium, and it's just going to allow Viking to play basically the exact same game as game 1, just the way in which they get there will be a little bit different. It'll be an Orchid timing, not a level 9 tiny. It will be, does the Storm have a rune? And yeah, I think, unfortunately, Cyberium, on call, they got the ideas to deal with them, but then they're locked into items, they're locked into a much later timing. How do they defend their towers? I don't think they do. I think Viking will sweep this game, and it'll be 2-0.
So 2-0 from you, T-Gov. It does seem like there's just too many win conditions that need to be met here for Cyberium again. Lizard, any more hope than what this man has?
Man, I'm gonna just say this. I like this Enigma in this game more than the Spectre in the first one. I like the Enigma overall win condition a bit better than the Spectre, but still, Viking GG, they just look as aggressive as in that first game. And if they play this same way, it should be an easy breeze for them.
Yeah, we don't really expect Viking to make any mistakes like this to cost them a match, really. And that's the thing we want to see from them, right? Come out completely swinging and dominate again.
Yeah, their draft's doing it. Let's just make sure as if I'm siding for them. Like, I'm not biased, just to be clear. Whatever Viking, you do you. But I think their drafts amplifies their performance. So yeah, it should be good.
Oh, okay. That's
exactly.
Right. I never know. He's got the biggest delay, so I never know with him if he's going to chime in or not.
I was just chilling, like, all right. I said my bit. I can sit back for a second. I was waiting to hear Cinder and Suns fan pipe up or something. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with the commentators yet. Maybe they're here. Someone will tell me soon. But with Liz, he's got the biggest delay on his. How do you live in Ukraine and only have 100 megabit internet as well? What is going on, Liz?
So basically, I'm living on the edge of the city, right? So it's not that easy to get good connection.
Do you have air conditioning yet?
It's fine. It's not that big of a delay. I was actually expecting, because usually we went to T-Governor, then to me, then you take control to Sind, right? But I guess Sind or Suns fan, they must be sleeping or something. So we
they're
continue.
awake. They are here. It's time for us to go into the game. We've taken a bit of our timing. They don't have to work on what names we're going to have to say for these teams. We're going into the second match. Suns fan, Cinder, take it away. It seems like it's going to be Viking all the way, and you guys probably agree with these amazing analysts.
Thank you. That was the best intro to a game I think I've ever witnessed, and I've seen a lot of games in my lifetime. Cinder, what do you think about that?
We've just been sitting here the whole time waiting. Like, when are they going to shut up, dude? Like, what? And then they throw us under the bus saying we're not ready. I'm just here like, okay, like, what's going on? That's great.
A+. I loved it.
Yeah, A+. Very good. Yeah, I think I pretty much agree with what the panel said about it. I think something that they maybe didn't even emphasize enough is they were saying Cyberium's lineup is slow. I just think it's really, really greedy. This is a let's see the first blood fight first though. Aramis gets off the stun.
Inkswell does connect, but Phoenix will be the first to fall, so first blood goes the way of Viking. They are on the board already.
So the support duo of Cyberium is Enigma 5. It's Enigma 5, Phoenix 4. So your support duo inherently have like these big teamfight ultis that are long cooldowns, and you have you don't have any little commitment on the Radiant side, right? There's nothing that will start the fight, like Avenge Stun or a swap or some sort of Grimstroke plus melee hero or anything, right? If you want a fight to start, you have to use an ulti. You need to use Pango ulti, you need to use Black Hole, or you need to use Supernova, because you have no low commitment catch, whereas the enemy team has Slardar Stun, they have Vortex, Snapfire Cookie, Grimstroke, with Inkswell, like all of these things that can start fights. So you're playing a greedy lineup against that. You're playing a slow strategy, but your slow strategy is entirely reliant on big cooldown ultis, right? It's Black Hole, Supernova, Sonic Wave, and then the Pango ulti is a bit more forgiving in that sense with only 70 seconds, and then the Morph. So my worry for Cyberium flat out is just that they will not, they will struggle to find opportunity, which is what I've been harping on today for these lower tier teams, is that they can't take initiative in the game. And this time they've definitely made it hard for themselves, in my opinion.
Just barely misses the crush in the bot lane, which probably would have led to a kill. But yeah, you like Vikings lineup a lot, is what you're trying to say, I guess.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot for this patch. I like it a lot for what they're against, and I like it a lot for their players. There's just like so many good things, like comfort, tempo. The thing that's worked very well for them in game 1, they're sticking to their guns. They changed a couple of pieces a little bit, but the essence is the same. And you're playing a fast lineup, and you're just playing it against an even greedier lineup than in game 1. So what's going to stop you from just running over them even harder this time, is the question. So far, the laning stage is a huge Viking lead after 2 minutes. They're winning all 3 lanes convincingly.
Yeah. I was going to mention that. In the CS department, both Storm and Jug are leading the way by quite a large margin. I mean, we're only 2 minutes in, but for now, it is quite a large margin, which obviously is not a good sign for Cyberium. What about the avenue that Pubber has on this Enigma? Like, how impactful do you think he could be in a game like this?
I think 5 Enigma has potential in quite a lot of games, but I think it's very dependent on the team enabling it, right? It's a support, and usually you talk about the supports enabling the cores, but inherently Enigma as a 5 needs space, and it needs to find a way to either use Black Hole or to find items that makes it useful, like auras or Necronomicon or whatever it is. The issue is, once again, who enables it.
Or to use Swashbuckler. He found himself in this position a lot last game where he would swashbuckle and then they just run at him.
Yep.
And are you sure this is... I know that he played it last game, right? But Pubber is the one taking a CS in this lane.
Oh, wait, they just swapped roles.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're playing the Enigma as a 3.
3 Enigma.
Yeah, okay, I assumed that this guy would be playing... He played Bane last game. I'm not imagining things here. But they are giving him the priority. So they're playing a Pango 4 and a Phoenix 5.
Yeah. Does that change anything in your mind? Like, just more focusing on the Enigma as a 3.
Like, not really. If anything, I would honestly prefer it the other way around, just because I feel like Pango could add, like, he could present some tempo, right? If Pango had the farm and had 1 item or something, he could take some initiative. I just think any net worth you dump into this Enigma right now, it's like contingent on the enemy team making mistakes, so that you can get off, get your money's worth for the net worth here. I know I'm being like really negative here, but I'm just not a big fan of this kind of lineups in Dota right now. I don't think
you really need to calm down. Your rage is just overtaking this cast. I've never heard you so angry before. Good Lord, man. No, but I think it's fair.
I think it's a balancing act, and they've turned the knob too much toward big AoE ultis and weak lanes in this game. But let's play it out, shall we?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I mean, maybe in your world you can just call the game before it ends and we don't have to play it at all. But Morphling bot lane gets crushed. Morphing up in strength a little bit here is Toby. Going to have Inkswell applied. I don't know if he wants to go in. The waveform's going to dodge it. Nope, he's going to take a few more right clicks as a result of that move. But Morphling 20-2 in terms of CS, as the crush is beautifully timed. And it looks like Phoenix will likely fall one way or the other. He's actually going for the kill on Toby under the tower. It's going to be close, and the Fire Spirits are enough to take him out, but Phoenix does die first. Trade of sorts.
Not too bad for Cyberium here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They get the bounty rune out of it as well. And you trade support for carry, or core rather. I think you're very happy with this. Toby's also going to lose a couple of CS here from dying when the wave pushes into the tower, so it's like added benefit. Aramis was there to pick up most of it, though.
Higher level than Toby right now.
Yep.
Pretty bad as a Slardar. So definitely not off to the same start that he had last time around, where he was getting pretty much... I mean, he is... Actually, now that I look at it, his CS is still really good.
Yeah.
But he got off to a monstrous start with the Hand of Midas into everything else that he just used to crush.
But the good thing for them as well is Grimstroke is amazing with levels. I think it's one of my favorite supports. If my let's see. Ooh, a little bit of damage there.
Does have dive.
If I play support, whether like 4 or 5 or whatever, and I'm dual laning with somebody and my core dies and I get a lot of experience, I really enjoy getting in on Grimstroke. It just feels like these early levels in his spells just scale incredibly well into the mid-game portion. Just insane damage, stun silence. It just has the whole package.
Blade Fury. Looks like Snapfire is going to be the first to fall. Sam being ran down by Shad, and this looks to be a trade of sorts. And Juggernaut feeling pretty good about himself now. Does have the top net worth by a sizable margin over his own teammate in mid. I mean, that's one thing we haven't talked about is his mid lane. Boom on the Storm Spirit level 6 right now versus Mastermind's Quap. I mean, it's kind of an old school matchup, I suppose. Quap used to be like the mid hero, like 7 years ago, like every single game. What do you think of this matchup these days?
I think both heroes largely farm. I don't think Storm wins it, which is what is happening right now. So, oh boy, that's a really good gank mid.
Again, bot, but yeah,
beautifully done.
Swell, boom, damage to take him out. So, I mean, last game we did see the very, very slow start for the Queen of Pain, and we might be seeing it again this time around. Cinderin, he got, I mean, his Orchid wasn't terribly timed, but he didn't really get anything after that in quick succession. Like, he didn't use the Orchid, or wasn't able to, I should say, to use it to, get some kills, kind of snowball him in the right direction. Not sure how much of that is on the Queen of Pain necessarily, and just the team dynamic as a whole.
I mean, in this game, for sure, the heroes, in my opinion, the heroes that you need to have a good game, you need Quap to have one, so stuff happens around the map. And then my secondary pick to, again, that's why I would like Pango to be a core here, as I think he might have needed it. Toby forcing out the Icarus dive, and backs off. But yeah, the bottom lane is going pretty well for Cyberium here to focus on the positives. Might get a kill mid as well.
Yeah, he does have Sonic Wave.
Not going for
360 HP. Wouldn't have been enough as the Omni Slash comes in. Perfect bounces. Of course, there were no creeps, so I guess it was guaranteed.
Celery has a haste.
Quickly.
They're going to dive.
Celery, no cookie to speak of. Sonic Wave.
Force the Sonic.
Used as a defensive measure, if nothing else. Celery's going to continue on, attempting to TP out, and he will be successful. A lot expended there. Queen of Pain doesn't die, but did use the ult. How big of a deal is that for Queen of Pain early on to use that ult? It's 125-second cooldown. It's pretty long.
It's always relative to the game, right? I feel like I'm just a broken record at this point, but in this game, these cooldowns really matter so much. So if you're using Sonic Wave defensively, he got soloed.
See you later, nerds.
If you use Sonic defensively, you just... What's your play, right? How does the Radiant put any pressure right now in the game except pushing creep waves? What are they looking to do? Who are they ganking with? Who are they ganking? Are aliens real?
Wow, that's a great question, Cinder, and thanks for bringing that up during a Dota 2 cast. Very professional.
Yes.
Don't force your beliefs on other people, Cinder, and aliens. Of course they're real, okay? But yeah, Queen of Pain, one of those heroes. I mean, it's similar to a Storm Spirit. You kind of just want to be running around getting kills, especially once you get the first item, which he's not really even remotely close to at this point.
Like usually the textbook good Quap game is you play your lane and you win it by, like, always matchup dependent. Let's say in this game, let's say you draw or win it slightly. You get any power rune, minute 6, with your Sonic Wave, and you go to a lane and find 2 kills. And then you go back to farming your Orchid. But in this game, he lost his lane. He has died twice. He finally got a DD now, so that's nice. But his first Sonic Wave was defensive, so he hasn't even got an assist now. And it's kind of Storm that's just taking charge. Also completely trashing him on CS to top it all off. 77-12 to the 41-14.
Ouch.
Boom. Yeah, that's a
that is
mega win.
Rough. I mean, that's so hard to come back from. And on top of that, we saw Pango trying to go for the bounty rune, get silenced and just decimated, but Viking taking 3 out of the 4. So Their early lead will continue to grow, it seems. And with all this action in the mid lane, it's left Toby to his own devices in the bot lane right now. Has the Treads Bracer. Mastermind actually shows up with the DD. And it looks like he just wants to farm. I don't know if he can... They're not even bringing any reinforcements here. Just abandoning the mid lane in a lot of
realistically,
ways.
the only way you kill this Slardar is with Enigma or Pango ulti. Actually, I don't know if... Like, can Quap actually kill this Slardar in any other way? Don't think so.
Mid lane. So Morphling transitioned over to take over for Quap. Definitely a tankier solution to the Storm, who is starting to get out of control. More than halfway to his Orchid already. Sam is here. Does have his ult available. Little Pleb's actually going to jump in. They're going crazy here with the Swashbuckle applied as well. The Cookie will keep the Snapfire safe for now. Rolling Thunder, bouncing all the wrong directions right now. They're going to chase down Aramis, but the Snapfire does die to the Sonic Wave. And looks like that'll break things up here. But that was all of their heroes. All of them.
That was a really big win for Viking. What just happened there? They forced Sonic Wave, 5-man rotation to kill at position 5 while they're full-on free-farming 2 side lanes. Like, if you look at the fight recap of that, it looks like a win for Cyberium, but Viking probably just gained like 500 to 1,000 net worth with this play. That's also considering that town portals were used, so that also costs. Like, this just... It's the curse of the Radiant lineup. These kills take so much commitment. You need heroes, you need big spells. And if you have a lineup like that, and you really need to hit this mid-game timing where you get a big team fight, I think your lineup usually needs one of 2 components. It either needs a reliable way of forcing a fight by sieging either a tower or Roshan. Oh, that's a dead Phoenix.
God, he just got egged. I don't even know if he had time to level it up.
Could be a counterplay, though.
Yeah, Boom, very low. Looks like he'll get dropped. It's going to cost him the Pango, but they'll take that any day of the week. So 2 for 1. And despite starting off with an easy kill, the Storm dying is a huge deal. Has yet to finish his Orchid, of course, so that sets him back a little bit. So perhaps that'll provide Quap with a little extra time to catch up as bottom lane. Little Pleb just getting ran at. The Slardar. Does have his Mask of Madness, though. Not Mask of Madness, but the Morbid Mask. Looks like the Snapfire dies again, under their own tower, in fact, but Enigma will be the trade of sorts.
Yep.
Mastermind was TPing, but the jump in from Boom prevents it, and he will clean up the kill. Toby, so nice to be able to give that up to Boom.
They're trying to get that Orchid ASAP. That's a good decision to leave Storm that kill. To just finish off on what I was saying, in my opinion, when you're running a lineup like this with these big ultimates, you need to either have a way of forcing fights by going to Roche or going to towers, and the enemy team has to respond or they lose that objective, or you need to have really good wave clear, so you can keep pushing out waves and farm until you hit your timing. The wave clear is pretty okay on their side, but there's like no objective threat, right? Like, how are they going to lose a tower this game? To Cyberium. If Cyberium bring 5 heroes mid and they try to take the tower, they will defend the tower with 3 and free farm 2 side lanes. So you can't make that play. It's not favorable. They're going to jump the Morph.
They do, but he is able to get the Strength Morph going at the very least, but they have so much damage. Whew.
A regen rune on Storm. Now comes the Orchid. Now it's just going to get more and more easy. Dude, this Jugger is so farmed. What the hell?
Are you surprised? He has a Yasha.
I'm not surprised he's very farmed, but
Scotty.
I'm still surprised by the discrepancy, though. I didn't think he would be this far ahead. He's super far ahead. He's 6-0, though.
Yep. 8,300 net worth versus the Morphling 5K. So one of the bigger net worth leads at 15 minutes that I've seen in quite some time. Top lane, have the silence onto the Phoenix, and he's brought down very easily. Morphling jumps in.
Oh, he didn't know about the Orchid.
Silenced immediately. Double silence, in fact. And that is a double kill for Boom.
That's a double oof.
But they showed that, right? They're going to jump in again.
Oh, okay.
And Queen of Pain. What is going on?
And now the next person is TPing. Okay, he canceled.
Yeah. Savior.
MVP of that fight for Radiant was the guy who canceled his TP. Good job by Pango to not go there. After 3 allies died 1 by 1.
Oh, black hole. The first black hole of the game into an egg as well. And this will be a huge kill on Shad. Gets stunned by the egg. He's under the tier 1 tower. This must be a kill. Gets off the Omni Slash, though. Toby's coming in for support. Gets the kill. Is he actually going to live? There's no way. Shad manning up. Looks like he will finally go down. But they get more than they thought they would, that's for sure. And now Storm's just going to clean everybody up. So it's a 3-for-1. Juggernaut did die, though. I actually am curious what the fight recap shows. So almost even in terms of net worth, in terms of gold.
Yeah. What are we going with Storm? We're going Bloodstone. Not too surprising. Just keep up the ramp. Keep building up your advantage. You're snowballing really hard. Get a snowball item. It's a power rune for him as well. He's going to get haste. I think what Viking should do right now is place the most aggressive wards possible. You see, the 3 they have right now are actually very nice. They see top lane, they see mid lane deep, and they see the bottom jungle close to the tower. Because all they want to do right now is just run as people. Like, they know that every fight they initiate is favored for them. I'm pretty sure Pubber's going to probably die here. Oh, he's going for the Phoenix. Easy pick with that ward.
Yep. Super dead.
And out he goes. And these TP rotations keep coming in to try to defend and help. Pubber with no ults.
Stormy is getting a little bit low on mana, but of course his entire team
that blink
is
from
here.
Mastermind, that was way too aggressive.
Rolling Thunder coming in. Queen of Pain's gonna die, yeah. Questionable move there. There's a Snapfire ult dealing massive damage, and the Grimstroke ult keeping 2 in place. Soulbind for the win. Sam now on the run. A swashbuckle up in just a moment. Will they find him? That's the question. Oh, the cookie. Just enough range. So that is a full team wipe. Viking lost 0.
And they take the tower. Yeah. It's kind of like game 1 on crack, right? Like you just
my goodness.
Absolutely just running at them with their whole lineup and killing them one at a time. And it's a bit frustrating. It's a bit frustrating to watch this from Cyberium's perspective because you just see them. Like I like saying this thing with putting out fires, right? But it really just feels like it. The whole game from minute 0 is they are trying to fix problems everywhere, and they're just getting run at and destroyed, and their solutions they're just not good enough. The best attempt they had so far was that Jugger killed bottom, and they had to use Black Hole, Supernova, and Pango ulti to barely get that kill.
Oh, he does get them.
He is still dead.
Yeah.
Soul burn. Ooh, major damage. Yeah, GG. I don't blame them for calling it. Like this game, there's just nothing there. They're getting run over. To me, this was a very, in my opinion, a very major strategic win. Not that Viking necessarily needs that in this series, because they're also the stronger team.